Saudi capital of Riyadh was a new starting point for economic cooperation between the two sides. During his speech at the summit, the president hailed Arab-Chinese cooperation in all fields, including the economic, development, political, and cultural aspects, noting that China is a leading trade partner for a large number of the Arab countries. Sisi called for sparing no efforts to enhance and support the ongoing Arab-China partnerships, chief among which are the Belt and Road Initiatives and the Global Development Initiative, given the investment opportunities that they offer in various fields. Sisi also hailed China's balanced position towards the Palestinian cause and the Palestinian people's legitimate right to establish their independent state based on the 4th of June 1967 borders with East Jerusalem as its capital. He affirmed that the Chinese position in this regard has been highly appreciated and respected by the Arab world. During the summit, Chinese President Xi Jinping called for the need to strictly adhere to the two-state solution, affirming China's support for the Palestinian bid to obtain full UN membership. Also, Secretary General of the League of the Arab States, Ahmed Abul Gheit, praised China's continuous support for the Palestinian people's rights in a speech during the summit. In his speech, President Xi called for enhancing cooperation between the Arab countries and China amid the turbulent world situation and developments in the Middle East. The Chinese president affirmed China's support to the efforts of Arab countries to explore means of development, highlighting the necessity of non-interference in the internal affairs of countries and in preserving the interests of developing countries. The China-Arab Summit was hosted by Saudi Arabia Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and attended by leaders or representatives of the member states of the Gulf Cooperation Council, in addition to hosts of the Arab leaders on their representatives from Sudan, Iraq, Tunisia, Somalia, among others. The summit was held shortly after the conclusion of the first China GCC.
Welcome back, and for more discussion on the issue, we have with us over the phone His Excellency Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Your Excellency, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Your Excellency, we've followed yesterday the China-Arab Summit that took place. We're following today the Gulf the Gulf-China Summit, which is taking place today. In his closing speech during the Arab-China Summit, the Chinese President, or President Xi Jinping, said that Arab-China Summit worked to strengthen construction to confront the food, energy, climate crisis, and is committed to find political solutions to thorny issues and working to maintain peace and security in the region, and even called for reaching mutual benefit and enhancing harmony of coexistence between different civilizations. I mean, here the Chinese president gathered all the statements. How do you read his statements?
First, I want to say that this is not the first meeting or first summit between Arabs and China. We met since more than a decade in Cairo and Peking as the Arab League country states and China. But this is the first time to take place on the presidential and the royal level. And this is a good development for our relations with China. Of course, this is very important. It is, of course, a good chance for our presidents and leaders to meet each other on regional level and bilateral one also. You realize, of course, that President Fattah al-Sisi met several presidents and kings of our area. And in such a meeting, there is always opportunities to go deeper and widening our relations in many fields. It's not only political, it's security, it is trade and economy, it is even cultural relations. And we have a long history with China, which we are proud of. Egypt was the first country in our area and the third world who recognized the Chinese Revolution in 1956. And we were punished for that by the tripartite aggression in 1956. Since then, each of us, Egypt and China, we know the importance of each other, and we are always deepening this relation. China became the largest partner for many Arab countries, and it's main importer of our oil. And also China has made a good development since they started a two-sided economy. They adopt since the beginning of the 90s the free economy. So you will meet in China now real capitalists and businessmen who are leading the economy everywhere. So all these developments, we are working on it. Of course, we are studying and exchanging views about what is in the international level, whether it is the corona epidemic or the effect of the war between Russia and Ukraine. Also, we are trying to supply Europe with what it needs of energy, because now we are facing a problem of energy. As of the problem of cereal and food, we succeed to change our partners there, and now we have covered our needs of food and cereals. Many subjects are there on the agenda. Our main topic in the regional level, it is the Palestine question, and we need the support of China, which was always a good supporter to us. We have a problem in Syria, we have problems in Libya, in Sudan, in Somalia. We are discussing all these matters. And of course, we are studying also to enlarge our economic relations, and it is going quite well between China on one part and most of the Arab countries on the other part.
Your Excellency, yes, as you said respectively here, this is not the first encounter or the first summit to take place in the Arab world, but in the very recent time there was one visit of course by the Chinese president here to Egypt, plus 12 strategic agreements that were signed between China.
There is a problem with the voice. Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
No.
Hello?
One of a sudden the voice is cut.
So, can you hear me, sir? Right, until we bring back or return to our call with His Excellency Ambassador Bayoumi, and we'll have this quick report, and President Sisi addresses the Arab-China summit. Let's watch and we'll come back.
On the sidelines of the Arab-China summit, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi met with his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping in the Saudi capital Riyadh. During the meeting, President Sisi said he is looking forward to enhancing partnership with the Chinese president during the coming period to develop bilateral relations, especially in light of historically friendly relations binding the two countries and peoples. For his part, the Chinese leader hailed Egypt's role under the leadership of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi in boosting security and stability in the Middle East, which China is depending on to establish a Chinese-Arab partnership. Jinping said his country was looking forward to boosting its partnership with Egypt at all levels and expanding fields of cooperation. He reiterated that Beijing would support Egypt in its development process under the leadership of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. Xi pointed to the promising investment opportunities for the Chinese companies in Egypt. The Chinese president congratulated President el-Sisi on the high-level Egyptian organization of the Global Climate Summit COP27 and the success that Egypt has achieved. Also on Thursday, President el-Sisi met with Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani. President spokesperson Bassam Radi said President el-Sisi renewed his Congratulations to the Iraqi premier on his success in gaining confidence of the parliament and forming the government. President Sisi held the deep ties that bind the two Arab countries and said Egypt is looking forward to broadening cooperation with Iraq in various domains. The head of state emphasized the solid principles of Egyptian politics in supporting Iraq and magnifying the Arab national role, as well as providing food support for the Iraqi people at various levels. President Sisi pointed out to the importance of expediting the implementation of joint projects between Egypt and Iraq so that economic achievements keep up with the political outlook between the two sides. For his part, the Iraqi premier extended his appreciation to Egypt's efforts in supporting Iraq at all levels, adding that his country is looking forward to expanding cooperation with Egypt. On Friday, President Sisi also met with his Tunisian counterpart, President Qais Said, in Riyadh. The presidency spokesperson said that President Sisi praised during the meeting the distinguished Egyptian-Tunisian ties, expressing hopes of success to the Tunisian authority under the leadership of the Tunisian president during the important turning point to history of the Tunisian people. The head of state also reiterated Egypt's keen interest in exerting more efforts to push forward its relations with Tunisia on all aspects. For his part, Said said his country values its ties with Egypt on both the official and popular levels, hailing Egypt's recent achievements in the fields of security, stability, and development, in addition to its political weight regionally and internationally. In a separate meeting in Riyadh, President Sisi also held talks with head of the Sudanese Transitional Sovereignty Council, General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan.
All right, welcome back. And definitely the sidelines meetings between the leaders give impetus to the summit itself and make a way for more and more dialogue and understandings on all levels and in all spheres. The summit was hailed by all parties as of great success, a new era and new horizons for cooperation between the Chinese side and the Arab world, and it would really be a milestone in the history of the relations here. Remains to be seen how will those relations unfold at this upcoming stage. Remains to be seen how will we take the steps towards better relations and win-win situations. I guess that brings us to the end of this episode of our program Arab Affairs. Next Saturday will be another important file. Until then, goodbye.